Hello, everybody out there in Poetry Corner Universe. Here we are, another Tuesday on the Poetry Corner where we're featuring deadly pens. So stay tuned and listening to all this fire that's about to happen. All right, I'm gonna give it over to you, Valerie.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Poetry Corner. We're so excited to have the Deadly Pens with us tonight. Obviously, we don't have all of them because, as we're about to find out, this is just a handful of members. Um, I would like to invite you to subscribe and like our channel, and as well set the notification bell. We have 4 shows a week, and you're not going to want to miss any of our shows. We have more and more and more excellent poetry coming to you 4 nights a week. And tonight we have our very special guest. We're going to start with Poetically Speaking. Center stage. Welcome. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here. Good to be here. How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing great. I hope that you would introduce yourself and tell us a bit about the Deadly Pens.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Poetically Speaking. You can find me on IG. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me just about anywhere we're doing poetry. I'm actually based out of Houston, Texas, and I am a deadly pen. I've been a deadly pen for a little bit over a year now. So about the deadly pens, wasn't expecting to answer this question. So deadly pens is a spoken word conglomerate. We have multiple daily pens all over the U.S. and some abroad, as we have one international poet here tonight with us, Fadana. Um, the group was based out of Denver, founded by the voice Mr. Reality and Lady Blaze. And is basically, it was started with a group of 7 deadly pens. And since the pandemic, with poetry and spoken word going more towards social media and everything started going virtual because we all had to sit down, it started just expanding from there. People started realizing that there were dope poets all over the world. And some of us have been lucky enough to, be able to take that name and be able to uphold that. So there's probably, if you're in a major city, there's probably a deadly pen there. So definitely look out for us.
Excellent. Wow. Well, we're going to get to know more about the Deadly Pens and what they're about during the show. But in the meantime, we're here for poetry. So love to invite you to spit one of your pieces now.
All right. I'm going to do a piece starting off called Words Unsaid. It's one of my older signature pieces. And I always like to start with this one because it just goes into the prospect of love and relationships. Lonely nights are made of days that came and went their separate ways, from chances missed and words unsaid that run to leap off the tip of my tongue. Instead, I'm frightened of what you might say. In return, my lips tighten and I swallow the lump in my throat till it burns a hole in my chest every time you walk away from me and run to him. And me hoping that you choose me this time has my blood running thin. So my heart, it beats faster like it's racing to its end, pushing closer to the day that we're no longer just friends. These words left unsaid are more than just stories untold, or some thickening plot still yet to unfold. More the tools of the bold used for the goal they're professing. So testing, 1, 2, 3. This one ain't meant to be alone. And 2 is company, but 3, well, 3 is a crowd. So starting right now, I'm screaming out loud that you and I are meant to be together. And I vow no consonant, no vowel, hell, no continent could ever come between us. I vow that no matter how many times your heart's been broken and severed, I'll mend it back together, even if it takes me forever. And to stray, I stay tethered to you. Through the storm and whatever weather ensues, I'd walk like Jesus over troubled water for you, just to show you that my grip, that my bond, just to show you that my bond is stronger than the grip it takes me to pull you from the sea of doubt that you drown in. And through my Father, Those words carry a miraculous faith that commands mountains to move around men. So how can words be uttered so humbly yet astounding, to gently whisper to a cloud and make rain waters pour down, or spring forth waterfalls in places once plagued with barren ground? Well, I tell you. See, even at the lowest decibel, I can assure you that these words are spoken with a power of purpose, making many of our doubters nervous. Because the greatness that we manifest together shines brightly, pushing through the cracks of our outer surface, leaving lurkers sunburnt and blinded by our afterburners. Be reminded that this journey is not for the faint of heart. There will be those that try to smother our flames with salty sands, left to be washed away by salty tides from envy of our lofty strides. You'll see salt arise, see salty eyes feeding seas of tears, puddled on the path of our mountain climb, hoping that we fall from a faulty pride, but no compromise. We will not fall to those who plot demise. Just say the word and we'll waft and glide over the trees until we reach the top of the mountainside where God resides. Just say the word. See, if you only knew how your tongue is strengthened with every syllable read, how it sharpens like steel made for butter knives and guillotines alike. So whether it's love to be spread like a fine butter on bread, or an enemy who no longer desires his head, whether it's staining battlegrounds red or turning the companion's cheek rosy, whatever you do, choose your words wisely, even if they're those that you dread. Because the one thing that your love can't do once my heart's been opened and bled is resurrect the love that you buried alive under the weight of words unsaid, poetically speaking.
All right.
That was wonderful.
That's what's up, bro. Talk that talk.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. That was wonderful. I'm going to jump over to Yogi John. Welcome. How are you? Oh, frozen. Okay. Let's see. I will go over to Rita, and hopefully he unfreezes and we can chat. How are you doing, Rita?
Hey, sorry, it was creeping me out there. He was frozen.
I know, that's okay. He dropped. He'll come back in. I'm sure his feed. He just lost his feed. Welcome. It's so great to have you. I, of course, am familiar with you from Instagram, so it's a pleasure to have you here with us. And I wonder how long you've been with the Deadly Pens.
I'm definitely one of the newer members the newest member on the screen. I became part of the collective in August of this year.
Nice.
At the annual retreat, so part of that whole ceremony, and poetically speaking, was there. But yeah, so I'm out of Los Angeles. On most channels, I go by Accidental Poet. On Instagram, I am Rita in Heels. And I could do this piece that's like I haven't done since August, so it feels fitting. Lost in the land of the last samurai Genesis, battered and bloody by the blades of your bitterness, just seeking atonement, no heart for forgiveness, pledging allegiance to a religion of deceitfulness. There used to be a peace in your stillness. Now I'm desperately drowning in the vast abyss of your darkness. I will always be nothing within the deep chasm of your nothingness. Watch me now, the wayward Wonder Woman, wondering how I came to be called a coward, impetuously picked my petals and then deemed me deflowered, slipping into surrender to the hunger for you had us divided and devoured. Lost words fell silent in the solitude, and the source simply soured. Living in this sin of omission, the truth of love was overpowered. I'm vaguely familiar with the painful dichotomy of a dream. Light touch on the closed door, heavy steps on the achingly cold floor, everything becoming incrementally intentional when you You began keeping score, continuous careless concessions, cutting concisely to the core, promises aside of pride, nothing determined is detrimental anymore. The famed fable forgets to mention every tale ends in tragedy on those lost pages that tore now. Now you're the poet tricking and treating my dire destruction as your metaphor. And all I can do is incite these old oaths, because I'm not willing to let you go, not ready to cast that shadow, to play love's widow, to lay down in this field and wilt into a weeping willow, waiting in your waters as I wallow in my sorrow, failing to forsake my addiction to this affliction, pacing my last words to your devastating diction. Hold on, hold on. Let me just ask you something before you leave. Does finding fault in all forever make you feel free, even though each sentence pronounced a sentence on me? Behind your bars, our trauma bond would cease to be. There will be no sweet release in this peace if you no longer believe. I told you the ocean was a beast. You said you'd never turn your back on the sea. Never turn your back on me. Never turn your back on me. And that's that piece.
Ooh-wee. Go on, girl.
There we go.
Go get it.
Setting the tone.
That was nice. I love that.
Incredible. Incredible. Everyone, welcome to the Poetry Corner. We're glad that you could join us. We have the Deadly Pens, or some of them, with us tonight, and we're enjoying their poetry. We're going to move over to Yogi John. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. I had to switch phones real quick.
No problem. No problem. That happens sometimes. So I'm wondering what it has meant to you to be part of the Deadly Pens.
Community. One of the most important things with anything that you're trying to do is community. And these poets, these peers of mine inspire me. They push me. They give me, the extra that I need to go further, and the drive. There's a kind of thing that where we're not competing, but we are competing a little bit. Like we're not really in direct competition, but because we can't do what each other does. But when I hear, Fadana or Queen or Kiani or Rita or poetically speaking, I feel like this, oh, I gotta take it to the next step. I gotta do something else now.
Right. Well, it makes sense, right? Because as the saying goes, iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
Yeah. It's always nice to have that friendly competition to help each other raise the bar and grow together.
Yeah. And then the aspect of just being around these people and seeing how all these different colors come together to form this beautiful thing.
Lovely. Well, besides that, we'd love to know where we can find you on social media and if you have anything going. I think you froze again. So, there we go. Perfect.
I'm here.
Yeah,
so,
perfect.
Yogi John, I am from Philadelphia, PA. I am also in another group called Fourth Period Poetry, where we do Sunday self-care. And we also do poetic reenactments of plays. And I'm also hosting in Philadelphia an open mic called That Poetry Drum with another one of the Deadly Pens, the lovely Lady Siren. And we have just did our actual first ticketed event, but we do a small little coffee shop every other Friday.
Oh, nice. And so you said that's a ticketed event, so people.
So it's one that's ticketed and one that's not.
Okay. Well, that's lovely. A coffee shop and poetry
it's
go
called
well together in my books.
Yeah,
it's called That Poetry John. So if you ever come out to Philly, come check us out.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm in Cape May.
Oh yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Definitely.
Nice. I'm jealous because I'm way over in Canada, so but that'll be a trip on my list now.
Don't worry,
I'm
Faith.
gonna invite. Sorry.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna invite you to jump into your piece.
Victoria told me everything. How you like to slide over to her and love her up, all the things you like to hide and cover up. She a sucker. She told me everywhere you want like to pucker up. You fucking up. Is you dubbing her or what? She is not your friend. Even wanted me to rub her up, get rid of you and put another girl in your spot so I could sub her up. I mean, sub her in. I know you've been through thick and thin and she's kept you tight, looking just right, daytime or moonlight, but really, she be stealing your shine. Got me in drought facing high. She be stealing my time, clout chasing, wanting to be in all of your pics all of the time. Where would she really be without you? And why, without her, would you ever doubt you? It doesn't intimidate me, but whenever you mention our intimacy, she's always in the mix. Like she's the fix for a healthy sex life. Like she's every herb on my mama's every word. She hangs on your every curve and got the nerve to think you wouldn't be as attractive without her. Well, I gotta offer a counter, cause if you hadn't met her at the mall that day, she'd still be hanging up or disheveled work on some clerk's counter. Let me count the ways I've seen your beauty. Soldier of love, it's my duty to caress, grip, smack, kiss, and rub on that booty. Got me talking to me, myself, and I like, hey, you guys. I'm about to go goonie. Loony off that ooey mac and cheese gooey. It's no biggie to get you juicy. Giving you all the smoke. Burn you down like a Lucy. Flirting by showing coochie. Put your pussy lips on live. I give you 1,000 boosie. Eating it raw like sushi. Crib dancing your box tookie. Now, I'm not saying when y'all together, y'all not some cuties, but your pretty pleasing presence is sublime and she be getting in the way sometimes. Like, why she always at the crib? Siamese twins, you rocking with her back to back like y'all attached at the hip. Am I tripping? Because whenever we sipping and I'm trying to get you dripping, you run and go get her to slip into your sexy mode like your birthday suit ain't already the flyest and finest sexy clothes. That's your bestie though. I caught her hiding in our bedroom closet, telling me to stop it, not look at her. This is toxic. What is you? Sugar her? Is she your prophet? Because you act like she's saving you, like her input is saving us, but she be playing you and therefore playing us because she jumped in my DM. Told me she had something for my new girl and my BM. She be telling all your truths in visual clips and sound bites, how much weight you've lost, how much you've grown, exposing your tiger stripes. Vicky be snitching on you, tripping on you, living off you, acting like she's the boss who put you on when really she wouldn't be shit if you hadn't given her ass crack to place her thong you put her on. And your melanated, well-oiled, moisturized thighs are the perfect backdrop to make her seem like she's the prize. But in my eyes, it's always been you. Victoria can't keep your secret, but I can.
All right, bro. Definitely hit off hard on that.
And some heat there. Great comments. It's lovely to see everybody in the room. Thank you for celebrating these artists with your comments. I know it means the world to them. We are here 4 nights a week, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and again later on Thursdays. do like and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified of all the shows that we have going on. And that's how to make sure that you continue to follow us and see all of these wonderful poets who come through. I am going to introduce Fadana now. Welcome. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Great, thanks. Great. I am super interested in what everybody's been saying about the Deadly Pens. So I'm wondering, one, how long you've been with the Deadly Pens, and I'm wondering how you feel that it has broadened your writing.
I think I've been a Deadly Pen longer than everybody here, actually. But I couldn't tell you exactly when. I just know it happened when it happened. And it was really, really a great honor because I really thought it was kind of exclusive to poets in the United States. I'm in Toronto. So I am the first and only current international pen, which is good because it broadened my right. It like there's a little bit of pressure that comes with that. Like I'm representing a whole other country. And respectfully, you're not about to play with Canada's pen in my face. So,
Right.
so yeah, I definitely, I feel like, these people, they push me because they're amazing. And when you're, sitting with amazing people, you also have to step up and be amazing as well because iron sharpens iron. So it's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So let everybody know where you are. I know you just said you're in Toronto, but let everybody know what you have going on and where they can find you on social media. And then go ahead. The stage is yours for your piece.
Okay. Hey y'all, I'm Fadana. You can find me on social media at FEFEWRITES. I be writing sometimes, and apparently I heard I'm kind of nice with it. So definitely get up on there because I do have some projects coming up, and you want to be the first to know. So yeah. The love gets buried with the body. He lays a fragment of time, expiring and aging for all of the years that he couldn't. Maybe that's why he looked different, looked like a drawn version of the person they cry for. Because once soul takes its feet and climb planes of afterlife, the remainder of humanity looks like a bleak imitation, a child-drawn image, a face melting into what it wants to call earth, but it's just a case covered with a white blanket to pretend the breeze or the decay won't get through. So they bury a box, praying the treasure within remains whole, and hold onto the hope that heaven is a penny too poor to reject souls lost to bullets. On November 23rd, 2019, at 4:45 p.m., before time has prepared afterlife for them. There is anger here. Questions to a God who turns his head the other direction to not face the humanity of self-destruction, because if everything was made perfect and in his image, why does the remainder of humanity look like a bleak imitation, a child-drawn image? Why give a gun the power to open its mouth and scream as if destruction doesn't follow self-expression? There are tears here. A grandmother lays in the graying of the life she would give up 10 times over to not have to lay to rest the last of her legacy, so she wails. And we feel wind escape her body as if spirit looks for leeway and thin veils between dimensions to touch her one more time. I wonder if he waits for her. See, there is denial here. A girl with glossy eyes, refusing the tears that lurk about, swallows the ocean in her soul and regurgitates the salt in what sounds like dry throat conversations, floating, because why admit that something that looks like a bleak imitation, like a child-drawn image, is 5 years of meditating in a bedroom where incense and tongues wrote poems on her womb? Why admit that her soul was tied and this feels like both prison and an escape? This feels like purgatory. There is grief here. A mother remembers 27 years prior, she laid a young woman waiting for the first cry of a newborn she'd never get to say final goodbyes to. So She holds onto her hands, the same ones that bid his blood goodbye, held him while Creator took custody. She lays on his pillow, taking in the final fragments of his scent, because the body in the case is like a bleak imitation, like a child-drawn image of the art that love in a quiet man created. There is love here. A father holds his broken heart in his hands and lays it like flowers on the goodbye that he smoked into the clouds, because you can't face reality with a sober mind. This is the perfect time to not be present, because the sound of gunshots will be the lullaby that hunts the dreams he refuses. Fireworks. He thought they were fireworks, because why would November be anything less than pre-celebration of surviving a year that wasn't supposed to end in heartbreak? There is laughter here, because what else can irony be than forever and always ending at the blink of a bullet to the neck? Why does the remainder of humanity look like a bleak imitation, like a child-drawn image, and an I love you that I forgot to say?
Oh man, mm,
Great imagery.
that was definitely dope piece.
Really wonderful. Thank you for that. That was absolutely incredible. Wow. I'm wowed by this whole group, and we still have more to come. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our producer, Quentin Ford, who is behind the scenes, quietly working away so that we have a flawless show to bring you. So thank you, Quentin. We're going to continue on. Queen Kiani, super excited to have you join us. Let us know where we can find you, introduce yourself, and then I'm going to ask you a question about the pens.
Okay, my name is Queen Kiani. I am coming to y'all from Huntsville, Alabama, born and raised, and I've been a part of the Deadly Pen Collective since early summer of this year. So some months I've been a part of this collective, and it has been nothing but amazing growth from myself because I've been a part of this collective. Um, I always appreciate the feedback, the genuine love for poetry that exists within this space, and all of the different talents and gifts that we all have outside of poetry that further pours into our gift here. So,
Excellent. So tell me, what is the best part of being part of the Deadly Pens?
honestly, it's an awareness that the poetry that I have is beneficial, and also it's a reminder that there are poets out there that not only are better than me, but that can pour into my gifts too. I feel like we all have strong suits. It's amazing how we were all selected. Everybody has their lane that they're extremely strong in, and we just come together and feed into each other. And I really enjoy being able to get some good feedback from my fellow peers. So.
That sounds wonderful. It is important. That's great. Thank you so much. I'm going to invite you to share a piece with us now.
When I was younger, I saw my daddy cry and curse at the wind. He broke his own heart, and I watched as he tried to reassemble it. And my mama swore she would never let herself forget. That was the day that I promised I'd never sing of love if it does not exist. My 20s were my exception to every rule my 14-year-old self would make. I gave love a lifetime of chances to prove her existence, prove to me that she knew my name and my mother's too. But she spit me out of her mouth twice in my 20s, left me belly full of babies and heart missing pieces, loved it and cared to prove herself, only gave me glimpses of her smile, took me long walks on a beach in Panama City. I thought love was missing me back in Birmingham. I thought love lived on Valley Drive and had a heartbeat, the rhythm of hip hop. I thought love was a 23-year-old Black boy trying to figure out how to be man, how to love me like his mama loved his daddy and not the other way around, because he understood early on the concept of a mother's love. And I have my own boys now who I'd melt the Milky Way for. And although I never planned to be mother and moon in my 20s, what I do know is those who don't show up to my 30th birthday will have missed out on quite a show, because in my 20s, I tore my heart in half, even changed the structure of my anatomy in an attempt to bend over backwards for niggas who wanted nothing to do with me. And wasn't I a fool? The best you'd ever seen. How I turn and twist and switch my hips in desperate attempt to gain myself appealing, seem desirable, to feel wanted. See, this performance isn't anything special, isn't anything grand or original, but ain't it entertaining to watch a girl break breathless for boys who don't possess the intelligence to piece together her puzzle? Some call it stupid. Others with grace would say a twisted trauma response, and I can admit I needed my daddy more. Never figured out which dance movements made him most consistent for me. I am still dancing for his attention on top of his grave, begging for a sign from the ancestors that my daddy still dreams of me in the afterlife. I ask for answers when I pray, beg for burdens to be lifted when I write. See, I've been trying to outperform my shadow, but the bitch just keeps dancing, and so do I. I flaunt my hips in hopes of hands to find me happiness, hold me holy, find my body a church, a temple worth protecting. Those who don't stick around long enough to watch me become women will have missed out on quite a show. I've been a twirling tulip since 12, lost an abundance of audience members along the way because I took too long to get to the plot. They got bored with me and missed the best parts of me. The ones who don't make it to my 30th birthday will have missed out on a hell of a show. And I just know that God will give me standing ovation, use me as example to angels to rationalize, letting Eve eat the apple, letting Adam follow suit. See, my father's last Facebook post read, "Is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all?" And I would tell him that it's worth it.
Oh, great piece. Great piece. I enjoyed hearing that.
Yeah, really fantastic.
All right, Queen.
We have been very blessed to have a handful of the Deadly Pens here tonight. They are entertaining us, keeping us at the edge of our seat. When this video is posted, there will be a caption, and each of these poets, you will learn where you can follow them. I know they've told us that sometimes it's easier in print, so do watch for that. We're going to jump right into some more poetry. I'm going to hand the mic back to Poetically Speaking.
All right. So I had a list of poems that I was thinking about doing. I am totally switching them up, so y'all bear with me here. I'm going to do a piece that's very near and dear to me. And this one is called Time Capsules. We lowered you into the ground that day, slowly. Roughly 2 gut-wrenching seconds. Every second, believe me, I counted down Mississippi. Tears, Mississippi. The final blow of the realization that you were actually gone. Mississippi learned me a thing or two that day. That even the grandest of rivers couldn't hold streams of tears people cry when they lose someone they love. And that sadness, well, that sadness could be measured in feet. That 1 foot could break a person, but 6 introduced me into the world's infinite array of sounds that I never knew a human could make. That day, even I screamed that echoed off marble slabs and reverberated amongst the clouds, pleading for just one more spoonful of seconds with you. I stood surrounded by cries of disbelief, divine betrayal, and a defiant refusal to let go, all in a tongue only mourners speak, a remorse cold only God can. This day, when the trillion word lump in your baby sister's throat dislodged itself and scattered her from her mouth an incoherent ah! I learned that agony wasn't just a feeling, but a language. And I learned to listen like God. This day, a day that I still wish I could wake up from, I became silent, studious, watching how intently comforting words would spray from between people's lips, polluting the air around them with promises that could never be kept. So while the preacher prayed over your descending body, I prayed a different prayer. I prayed God would turn casket to time capsule, turn our goodbyes into see you later. So even if I had to learn to become a man without your guidance, one day I could unearth you to tell you how it's going, how I'm still here living, how I do so in your honor, hoping you'd be proud of who I've become, just hoping to see you again, wearing your wings, not those of angels, but the types of wings caterpillars grow, you know? When they've seemed absent from your garden, from the home you grew for them within your heart, when you never thought you'd see them again, but here they are. Butterfly. Better than before you, better fly. Better I would be to know that you become butterfly before angel, whimsical before warrior. I watched them lower you into that hole, hoping maybe in 20 years I could dig up that hole, discover you whole, rescue you whole, hold you in my arms and tell you whole time while you were gone has been a coffin-sized hole in my heart, and I ain't been whole since. I just have so much to tell you. So many questions like, did you feel any pain? If so, were you scared? Are you mad at me for not being there in your last moments to say goodbye? See, my mother told me it was a drunk driver that despite your faith, Jesus declined to take the wheel. Instead, that wheel of misfortune stole our last seconds together. That wheel robbed us of your beauty. And I begged, believe me, I begged to see you one last time just to tell you that it was okay. To tell you that if you said so, I wouldn't be scared. That I could be the pillar of strength that my family needed, but I was told I was too young to see you in that condition, that you were unrecognizable. And that one last goodbye would come at the cost of childhood nightmares. But oh, if I could just pull you from that time capsule, I'd need you to know that a lifetime of night terrors would be an easy choice for a kid who was forced to understand too early what a goodbye meant. How important your after wild crocodile in response to a see you later alligator would have been to his 39-year-old self, still holding back crocodile tears. Maybe we would talk about happier things. About the stuffed Care Bear you gave me when I was 5. I would show you all the rips and tears that I stitched on that bear best I could to keep him together, to keep a part of you with me. I could tell you about how he would kneel and pray beside me every night because I felt like nobody could talk to God on my behalf like you could. But if God could turn caskets to time capsules, maybe there wouldn't be a need for words. Just the tightest hugs and an unspoken promise to never, ever let go. Then again, maybe he knew that without my earth angel to steer me straight, I'd have to rely on him. Maybe he realized that keeping tabs on me will require 2 sets of all-seeing eyes. Maybe we're all just time capsules planted in our mother's womb, one day destined to be harvested from this earth to return to the gates of heaven where God can tell us how it's been going. That heaven ain't been the same without us, but it's okay now because we're home, resurrected to reunite with our families, to finally be able to hug with an unspoken promise to never, ever let go. Sometimes I wonder What if all the babies in the world were just heaven's time capsules? Poetically speaking.
All right,
Heart
now. All
wrenching.
right.
Very deep poetry. Very deep poetry.
Definitely, bro.
Wow. Yeah. We're just gonna keep this poetry blessings going. I'm gonna hand the mic over to Yogi. I'll let you spit your next piece.
Gotta let that breathe a little bit. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. It was.
I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. From bikes to trains to video games. The biggest toy store there is. I don't wanna grow up. 'Cause maybe if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us. Excuse me for not getting it, for not knowing how delicate of an African violet you were. I didn't grow up being trained by a florist. And although my courtship wasn't affluent, it was far from the poorest. I've written chorus after chorus, and older writers assure us that letting go and letting it flow is the best way to go, trying to pour the pain from my heart out on this paper. Labor, hour after hour, only left my heart on loop like a broken record. I reckon I deserved this. I was right. 10 years after the breakup, you told me the reason why was because I took someone else to the prom. That was the reason you cheated on me at 26. Fuck out of here. You wasn't trying to dig deep. You wasn't with the shits. You wasn't trying to put in the work during the tough times. But why should there be tough times if I make enough money, right? Driving a cab 16 hours a day with a plan to drive by a cab every 45 days and place 2 drivers in it, $480 a week in profit. By the time I got to 10, I could manage everything and not have to drive. I made it to 3 when you told me we needed to break up. Same dude who's been flirting with you in the office, who you had shut down so many times, somehow found time to go to lunch with you every day for a couple of months before you brought it up. I mean, before I pulled it out of you. I think we should break up. I think you just want to fuck him. I'm trying to buy you an engagement ring and you're engaging in things that aren't complete, that are completely disloyal, discombobulated. My dissonance won't let me leave the image in my head I had of the image of love. I don't want to grow up. I believe love's the shit. There's a million things about your love that I'm in love with. Puppy love. You summed up 8 years of effort with puppy love. I'll admit, I got it wrong a lot. I used to break up with you just to sleep with someone else, just to be able to say I never cheated on you, childish. But I'm not unaccountable. I told you, asked for forgiveness, came to terms with my toddler ways, seeing things as hearts I like to pick up and put down, picking my way through memories of where I made the wrong decision, where I could have downshifted all transmissions, where I could have switched positions and avoided this heart collision. 6 years of depression. 6 years of this nigga cold stole my girl and there's nothing I can do about it. Thoughts recycling, then re-inviting in the pain of pouring your heart out and still losing the deepest love I've had for another person. Most men change. They rearrange their mind, they reframe their structures designed to protect their hearts. Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart. For everything you do flows from it. My heart duct taped and sewn back together again, Humpty Dumpty, over and over again and again, going through hula hoops, went after chick, trying to match your box. My heart only good frozen. So I give them the warm bed and the sensuality you taught me, and it makes them think I love them. Really, I've been hoping you come back, hoping I'd finally be your choice, a place that hope in a vault deep in the back of my mind, away from the sun. I couldn't let that tree grow in my mind without you present. You came back for a couple of months that only seemed like seconds, because you knew I had 8 years of training of how to please you. You knew it was safe for you to come into my bedroom, that you'd be well taken care of, every nerve gently touched with patient grace, worshipped in every way I could think of. I mean, we're adults now. We should be able to just fuck. I guess I messed up when I spoke of love, and the hope sprouted roots and busted out of that vault and into my frontal lobe and downloaded into my neocortex. Dopamine released addiction. I'm fiending all over again. Why? Why do you still want marriage? Still want kids? Still want to wake up early to watch her sleeping? Why are you so obsessed? Why do you still believe love will fix everything? Why can't you be an adult? Why? I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. From bikes to trains to video games. The biggest toy store there is. I don't want to grow up. 'Cause maybe if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us.
Woo. All right, bro. That's what's up. Definitely a
Very
dope piece.
vulnerable. Very vulnerable. Great piece. Very deep. Incredible. Incredible.
Yeah.
We are with some of the deadly pens. I consider you all very deadly. You're entertaining us. Wow. Floored. Very, 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 just no words. I can't even think of the adjectives because you guys are just great. And I'm going to hand the mic over to Rita now, the accidental poet.
Hey. Lots of heavy. I'm trying to decide if I'm into heavy. Okay. Let's do a little less heavy. So this piece is called Lost in the Sea of You. The truth of it is that the ocean is never still. Under the smooth surface, it's always in motion. Waves constantly triggered by energy passing through water. I stood still in the dark magic of the night, at the edge of the swell of the sea, the cold kisses of the breeze caressing me, the rub of the grains on my feet, sanding down my defenses, beckoning me to become one with the lips of the shore, the smell of the ocean air flirting with my feelings, calling to my salty tears to come on home, the rolling tides waving me in. You see, small currents are created by the friction between wind and surface water. But these deep riptides were built on the primal relationship of the ocean and the moon, a pull that feels gravitational, a natural exchange of energy, the very basics of physics and chemistry, my base instincts forcing me to breathe it in. I inhaled the sharp shards of the ghosts crowded in around me, of every broken piece of glass longing to be softened by the salt water. and I exhaled it all out into a jagged shout, a scream that was summoned from my very core, that emptied itself out onto the oncoming crest, the crash of the water echoing my thunder, a rogue wave that signals a storm, like a tsunami that's created by a disturbance deep, deep under the surface. I released the roar of my disturbance as the tentacles of the tide reached up, greedy and grasping my discarded energy, coalescing every drop of it into an effervescent foam, claiming it into the ebb and flow of the current, dragging it like a prisoner back into the darkness, running with the retreating army of the tide, all without even ever saying goodbye. And that's that piece.
Come on, girl. Definitely dope.
Absolutely beautiful. Each of you have an incredible way with words and the way that you wind them. Rita, that piece was absolutely gorgeous. Very, very heartfelt. Really tugged at the heart. Beautiful. Wow. I feel like we all need to just breathe after each one of you, but we just want to keep on going because we want to get as much poetry in here as we can before the show ends. Fadana, welcome back to the mic and let you speak your piece.
Yes. Whew, I'm a little lightheaded from all this greatness, but how do I opt out of the options of loving and losing until my heart runs out of oxygen? Until I become gray and alone on a bed with nothing but a machine beside it? How do I break the chain of empathy that makes me weak in the knees for soldiers who only know to look down? How do I stop playing leading love interest to depression? See, I'm running out of beautiful things to write about. I'm running out of good moments to hold on to and love poems to recite. How do you repeat words made of sugar when the inspiration turned into a bitter lie? I'm running out of memories to hold on to, out of characters to give face, because my eyes have been deceiving me, believing that beautiful people couldn't be capable of something as ugly as inflicting pain. I'm trying to remember who I started writing for before I let love, politics, loss, death, its mess, their mess, his rejection, her betrayal, their silence, my holding my breath, the planet dying, before I let everything clog the blood flow to my heart, before I became pale as winter, searching for storms to hide on my tongue. I remember I started writing for the observer, the child that saw the sky sparkle and watched people walk into fire and then go on about their day like they didn't leave their shadows in the flames. I started writing for the tiny girl, drawing friends on the lunch table just to say someone sat beside her. I started writing for the child who picked at her skin and wondered when she'd stop feeling dirty, when she'd stop feeling used and depleted of magics, when she'd start feeling beautiful and not like she spent years talking to herself out loud just to have something echo back and mimic having conversations. I started writing for the mute, the one that remembered every word she didn't say for 2 years straight, tying ribbons around her vocal cords to decorate the silence while the grown-ups around her called her obedience. I started writing for the child that left her handprints on trees because something deserved to remember her being there. I remember her being there. I started writing for me. And it's been 15 years since I put my arms up beneath the stars, begged them to shoot me down, and let me observe life from where I can't be touched or tainted. It's been 15 years, and I'm still a little girl, crying over friends I couldn't keep, asking universe why I'm so disposable, begging myself to move on, to get a grip, to get over it. It's been 15 years, and I'm still as small as I was in the cafeteria. I'm still as fragile as I was during group assignments, still as silent. I'm still as sad, and nothing has changed except the people who wouldn't sit with me back then, they all grew up too. It's funny how seconds of adulthood corners you into a child's mind for months at a time, and you can't figure out how to escape and exist in the presence. You can't figure out how to not care like everyone else did, how to be asshole, how to be shitty, how to not say sorry for imposing presence that was always meant to sit alone, always meant to write stories, always meant to be bleeding heart from paper cut and chest cavities. I can't figure out how to move on. So I started using my eyes again, watching people love, laugh, hurt, heal, and move on. And I put pen to paper, hoping to write something beautiful, just not for me.
Ooh-wee. All right now.
The
Definitely
power
release
just,
that out.
yeah, the power just oozed out of that piece. Absolutely incredible. Very proud to know that there's a Canadian amongst the Deadly Pens. All right, we are going to move to Queen. Welcome you to spit your piece.
I don't know how to write a Black poem. Can't write something to make white folks understand enough. Make Black people think deep enough. Write in a way to display my grief enough. I don't know how to write a Black poem. When every day of my life is a Black poem, and this Black poetry of a body can't take its skin off after 3 minutes, I am still Black when I get off this stage. Still Black even with my master's degrees, and I don't know how to explain the grief that comes with being a Black mother. I don't know how to tell you I'm terrified of my sons growing up to be teenagers. I don't know how to tell you I'm terrified of my sons being 12 like Tamar or 18 like Mike Brown, and I can't properly educate you on all the hidden tragedies in our history. Because honestly, I'm too coward to go down the rabbit hole of Black history. I get triggered and I'm mad at myself because I haven't spoke aloud my eulogy for Sister Sandra. I can't bring myself to write about her heartbeat, her smile, or her locks, or how she can't smoke a cigarette in peace. I've already said too much. See, me and Brianna share the same skin, smile, hair, and last name, and I still can't write about her death. Can't talk too much about how unfair it is to be sleeping safe and sound and have white men come and tear your door down and shoot you in your slumber. The one place we're supposed to escape from this fucked up reality. I don't know how to write a Black poem. I'm scared I will forget to mention a name or tell another Black story in vain. And I cannot write about the church in Charleston or the supermarket in Buffalo or Tulum or Lake Gunnersville. See, I can't keep up. I can't get my story straight. There's too many goddamn stories. I mean, tragedies. I mean, white victories. I mean, slayings, hangings, defeats, massacres. There's not enough marches, revolts, revolutions, too much church, and not enough God. Where is God? I don't know how to write a Black poem. I just find myself riding into an infinite black hole where Black voices and Black bodies be buried safe and sound. So if a Black body falls in the forest, in Ferguson, in Mississippi, in Alabama, in broad daylight on a New York corner on a Tuesday, and no one is around to hear it, tell me, does it get a hashtag, a peaceful prayer visual, a march, a war? Does it get to be remembered, get to join the list of injustices? And don't we all have that right to be done a Black and brown disservice? Have you thought about all the ways you and your Black can die? I have. I could die in a church, in a traffic stop, on a playground, on an evening walk. I could die on my way home from a protest. I could die in my own bed, sleep safe and sound. I could die by myself in a cell I never earned. I can die selling Lucy's on a corner in New York. I can die wearing a hoodie and an Arizona tee tucked under my arms. I could die. Black people can die. Black freedom has died. I don't know how to write a fucking Black poem that doesn't sound like a eulogy, that mirrors joy, that doesn't sound like a death certificate, a police report, a Black body hitting the ground in grief. I don't know how to write a Black poem and not talk about my sons and not think about my brothers or my cousins or my uncles or my mama. I don't know how to write a Black poem when every aspect of my life is a Black poem. I'm a Black poet who can't write about a Black poem. I just know how to be a Black poem. I just know how to be a target, be hated, be stolen, be property. I just know how to be twice as good to get half. I just know how to be body, curves, and fertile. I just know how how to be silent. I just know how to keep my voice down. I just know how to keep my opinion on ice and watch my soul freeze to death. I just know when I've said too much and I've already said too much, I don't know how to write a fucking Black poem.
What a whirlwind. Love that piece, Queen.
That was a statement piece and an incredible, if you will let me say, an incredible holy shit piece. That was just incredible. I would like to thank you all. It has been such an incredible pleasure to spend this evening with you in poetry, to learn more about the Deadly Pens, and to hear your incredibly talented and powerful poetry. Learn where else we can find you on social media. I know that people after watching this are going to be running to find you so that they can get more of your work. So I can't thank you enough. Your vulnerability just shone in your poetry, and I think that's what made it so just an incredible new depth. You are very talented and obviously deserving. Thank you. So once again, we are the Poetry Corner. I would like to thank everybody for joining us, whether you took the time out of your day to watch us live, or if you will be catching us on replay. We're so thankful for the Deadly Pens to join us. Next week we have more poets and another group that's going to join us. I'm Valerie Lorraine, your co-host. I'm an editor, a content creator. I'm a poet. I'm the author of Falling and My Life Untitled. I'm a live host on YouTube and on Instagram, and I'm the curator of Origin of Thought page on Instagram. I would like to thank once again our producer and our host. So our producer is Quentin Ford, and our host is King Atterbury, or Joel. Joel, I would like to welcome you to take over the stage. I'm hoping that you share a piece with us before we close out.
All right. My name is Joel Washington Atterbury, stage name King Atterbury. I host the Epiphany Show, King and Queen's Quarters, on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Also host the show on Monday nights with Poetic, who's a part of the Epiphany family, the Eastside Connection. I'm also a part of the Los Angeles group of poets, Verses and Vibes, where we host West Side Connection out there. I'm the only East Coast guy on a West Coast team when I feel like Tupac. But yeah, so Thursday nights, we do the King pop-up show, and we right here on Poetry Corner on Tuesdays. So I'm going to engage y'all with a piece. This is titled High Steppin'. Scenery colder than winter, sometimes remembered. Nighttime temperature, elevating warm tempers. Neighborhood quiet, only guys playing the corners. Keep all eyes open unless you want to be a goner. Stone faces moving, a bunch of Rushmore figures. Time might be up, better run before they stick you. Street claim lives of innocent bystanders. A lot of areas have footage of half-detected cameras. Spin a block under lampposts where shadows breathe. Also the cops breathe because of what they eyes see. Hurry up and get to where safe haven is secure. Never know what is in store if you knock on the wrong doors. King. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody in this room to stay in the room after the credits roll. Thank you, King. I'd like to give a nod to you for having 20 books out, all available on Amazon, and 3 more coming in the next few months. So
I have a double release coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. But I also like to say I like to thank the Deadly Pens for showing up tonight and doing the damn thing. You know what I mean? Y'all all fly and dope. And I'll be following y'all on Instagram all that. You know what I mean? I appreciate you all. Word. Heavy salute to y'all.
Appreciate you, bro.
Also,
and thank you for hosting.
Valerie, did you want to recite a poem tonight?
I'm sorry, say that again. I missed it. Did I want to?
Yeah, did you want to entertain us with a poem tonight?
Oh goodness! Well, what am I supposed to say no to that?
Look, I put her on the spot, right?
You did. You really did.
Put her on the spot.
She tried to
Thank you.
slip
Yes,
past.
I did. I mean,
I know you
listen
did.
to the talent in the room. I was just letting that fly and enjoying it. Sure. Then let me just grab this one piece. So since I mentioned my newest book, My Life Untitled, I will read the title piece from that. It's called My Life. My life is untitled, uncaptioned, unbeknownst, unfortunate at times. Can you title what is to come? Or rather look back and say, yeah, here's a title for that chapter. I'd rather be untitled, unsettled on the beast of change, as every breath, every pump of my still beating heart rhythms inside of me. I love untitled works. They besiege me, plunder my thoughts, and leave it to me to wonder the essence of what I have just taken in. My life as an untitled work, something still in progress. So thankful to the universe for that. Still wishing on stars for outcomes that I beg for, unabashed, tears in eyes for what I want. I want, wanton, want so badly, tasting among mornings of toothpaste and coffee until my eyes close to the likes of dreams filled with want. Pose me a title and I will deny. How could I gain? Hope, dread, dead again to rise, knowing something, a little diamond something was coming for me. A clue to the beginning, the middle, the end. If you give me a title, then when it comes, say the end, so that I know then too. I love untitled works. It's up to me to play it out with the help of all I truly love. The sunshine, the stars, the moonlit nights, the ocean, sand and toes and surface sounding in my ears. If a title makes me who I am, then I will be nothing and finish out as I came in, nameless. Valerie Lorraine.
All right. That's what's up.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. You weren't going to let me get away with that, hey?
No, I wasn't going to let you slip through the gate like that. Well, hey.
Once again, thank you so much to the Deadly Pens. You guys just blew up our mics, and we're going to have to recover for a little bit.
True facts, true facts. Well,
We appreciate you for having us.
No doubt, true facts. I'd like to thank everybody in the Poetry Corner universe for tuning in tonight. Listening into these Deadly Pens. It's been an amazing show. And stay tuned for next week. We got a lot of things going on. Click like and subscribe to the channel. And as I always say, peace, love, and poetry. We out of here.